Southeast Asia Command had been created under Admiral Lord Louis Mountbatten.
I've come here to have a look at you and to let you have a look at me. Not that I'm particularly proud of my work, but we must get to know each other because you're all part of Southeast Asia Command now. One big allied effort.
Reporting to him were 3 commanders-in-chief for sea, land, and air. And next in line was General William Slim, commander of the 14th Army, given the responsibility of halting the Japanese land invasion into India. Helping him in this was General Wingate, whose irregular forces, the Chinots, were successfully operating behind Japanese lines, harassing their supply lines. The Dakotas, mainly piloted by daring British and American pilots, provided crucial air support, often flying alarmingly low to ensure accuracy. The local Naga population, too, helped out considerably, providing information and intelligence about Japanese troop movements. On the Japanese side, there was General Rene Mutaguchi and his 15th Army. Under him were General Yamauchi, General Satoru, and General Yamagita. Adding further firepower to the Japanese offensive was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and his Indian National Army, hoping to wrest precious Indian territory from the British. And so, in a corner of northeastern India, beside the Burma and China border, several thousand soldiers and their war machines were marching towards a historic encounter. That was World War I. General Slim had been building up logistical bases and stockpiling supplies at Imphal and Dimapur for the last 18 months, planning the reconquest of Burma. He knew this was crucial to victory, as in that hostile jungle terrain, supplies were a critical issue. Also, with the superior Allied air power, he was confident of keeping supply lines intact. But there was overconfidence on both sides. The British were sure that because of the hostile terrain, the Japanese attacking forces would be small in numbers and easy to overcome. In this, they completely underestimated Japanese determination and endurance, as well as the enemy's courage. And the Japanese, too, were no less overconfident, very sure of their ability to defeat the Allied forces. They traveled light, carrying hardly any supplies, depending completely on their being able to capture British lines and use their stocks of food and equipment. A conscious strategy that had worked brilliantly for them in Singapore and Burma, but which the British were now aware of and prepared to counter, began now compressing themselves into dense, impenetrable perimeters, presenting a steely defense. Supply problems and distance to start taking their toll on the Japanese forces. To fully appreciate how the Japanese were able to fight so fiercely, so far from home in alien territory, among a population that was often hostile to them, we need to understand the background these brave soldiers came from. Bushido, the way of the warrior, was the concept that ruled the hearts and minds of the Japanese. A code of chivalry that expected each Japanese soldier to fight unto death. Indeed, the families of the soldiers often conducted funeral rites for them before they even left Japan. In the midst of all these clashing ideals, in the impending maelstrom of war, these players marched towards what would later become known as the bravest, fiercest fought battle of World War II. And so, there we have about 2,500 British troops in the area of Kohima,
Hello. Let me give you an insight into how the Battle of Kohima took place. Here we are in Kohima right now. Such a lovely, lush, green hillside. So calm, so peaceful and quiet. Yet, in those months of 1944, this was filled with smoke, gunfire and artillery. You could smell the stench of death and fear mingled with pain. You also have the all-pervasive smell of raw courage, undying hope, uncomplaining endurance, which together spelled quiet heroism. Such was the battle for Kohima. The Japanese were closing on to Kohima. More than 13,000 desperate men. Along with them were the INA led by Subhash Chandra Bose, imbued with patriotic fervor and equally willing to give the last drop of blood for their country. Scattered in different pockets were the British forces, supremely confident that the invading Japanese forces would be The Japanese offensive commenced 6th of March 1944. 3 Japanese divisions, the INA, one objective was to capture Imphal, break through into the Brahmaputra Valley, cut off the northern front and disrupt Allied air supplies into China. Behind me is the hut in which General Sato stayed for a while during the battle. The Japanese planned to surround Kohima, cutting off Allied forces from access to the Imphal road. The approaches to Kohima were covered by one Allied battalion, the newly formed Assam regiment, with detachments from the Assam Rifles and the local armed police. Late in the day on 4th April, the 4th Battalion of the Royal West Kent Regiment arrived. Colonel Hugh Richards was appointed to organize the defense of Kohima along with men from the Assam regiment. With 800 soldiers, that the hammer of the Japanese attack fell.